Hi there, listeners. Just before we begin, this is a quick trigger warning. There is, near the end of this episode, something that is descriptively similar to self-harm, so please be aware of that and stay safe. Welcome to Direcast. Please wipe your feet on the way in. Here at Direcast, our group of 6 trained werewolves play different RPGs, bringing you a new game and system every few weeks. This week, we're continuing our extra spooky game of You Awaken in a Strange Place, in the lead-up to Halloween. My name's Lukey, and this week's intro question is, what was the last Halloween costume you wore? Mine was a witch.
Hey there, I'm Matt, and the last Halloween costume I wore was I went as a member of Spinal Tap.
I expected nothing less.
Yeah, what else would we expect, Matt?
That's the correct answer. I'm Jacob, and the last Halloween costume I wore was of, ironically enough, a werewolf hunter.
Hi, my name's Helen, and for my last Halloween costume, I was a little black cat. Well, I was a black cat, but I'm also little, so you know.
Aww.
Hence, little black cat.
Nice.
Little black cat.
My name is Peter, and my last Halloween costume was John Travolta, specifically from Greece, and I had to slick my hair back, and my hair does not want to be slicked, so we literally used half a bottle of wax.
Yeah, that's going to be a half a tub job.
Yeah,
I can imagine,
really
like,
it's going to take a while.
trying to slick your hair back would sort of achieve the effect of, like, a backwards pompadour.
I just feel like trying to slick your hair back is a bit like saying, I know, we'll build a road through Everest.
Yes.
It's just going to be difficult. Like,
Whatever you try.
Somewhat quixotic.
Yeah,
yeah, like, I feel like it's a pointless exercise. Really.
honestly, considering how bad that party was, yeah, that was a pointless exercise.
Aww.
All the effort I went to for this.
Yeah.
God, this.
Hi, I'm H, and my last Halloween costume was a couple years ago, and it happened around the time of Comic-Con in London, so I was dressed as Keyleth from Critical Role, which tells you everything you need to know about how very nerdy I am.
Nice. So, now we know who everyone is, and we know we're carrying on with our extra spooky Halloween episode. Let's get to it.
Who wants to start?
Do I have the manacles on me again?
You do.
I roll out of bed, and I roll under my bed and grab a screwdriver.
I was going to say, do we still have
will-
the screwdrivers in our pockets?
No, you do not
Okay.
have the screwdrivers in your pockets. You, for all intents and purposes, it appears to be, as far as you can tell, an exact reset of how you woke up the previous day.
Ugh, is the mannequin standing over me?
The mannequin is indeed standing over you, as before. And then, like, the other thing I'll say is, like, feel free to investigate more and kind of to check out different things. For anyone who wants to go for the screwdrivers, I'll allow it free. They're there for everybody. There is a screwdriver underneath everybody's bed with the colour that you would expect.
I think we may as well all grab them, pretty much,
Yeah, I'm
unless
going to get
anyone
my
has
man
a
ankles
want
off.
to not, yeah.
I think Pink is going to get out of his bed, and he is
Go
going
and grab
to...
another cupcake.
Oh no, he's learned. He does have memory. What he's going to do is he's going to try and. So there were books in the room. Were they on bookcases?
There's a bookcase with some books on it.
He's going to try and pry the bookcase off the wall using the screwdriver.
It comes away. It's not attached to the wall, so when you kind of pull it, like I'm not gonna have the comedy
they're
thing
all
where all the books
freestanding.
fall on you.
Oh, darn.
But yeah, it's freestanding. You can pull it away. That's absolutely fine. It does indeed come away. It's relatively light.
Wall behind it?
Yeah, as far as you can tell, there is wall, like plain wall behind it.
Alright, he's then just going to exit the room and look for the man with the muffins.
Not there.
No muffin man.
The Muffin Man is absent. He is not there.
He
Okay.
Muffin.
he will sort of stand in the middle of the room waiting for everybody to come out then.
Yeah, you can kind of sit there with the expectation the others will emerge.
Okay, can I get out of the room pretty quickly?
You can you roll? Or if you go in quickly, I was going to have you roll perception.
Sure. Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah, roll perception. Go on, Red.
No, I was looking to see if that weird guy was in there still. So that is a 7 or a 1? I think it's a 7. Yeah. 7? just 7.
Yes, 7. Sorry, you saying that weird guy? Do you mean the mannequin that was there yesterday?
Yes.
He is. Sorry, she. It was female.
Oh, was it?
He's in
yes.
exactly the same. Yeah, exactly the same place.
Cool.
You can assume exactly the same as far as you can tell. You're welcome to investigate her more if you want.
Nope.
But she is standing in the same place. You rolled a 7.
Yeah.
Only other thing you notice, just as you're about to leave the room, you notice by the door are a pair of red slippers. Almost like they've been left there for you. You don't know if they were there yesterday. You didn't check. But there are a pair of red slippers.
No. Can I, tow one over to see if anything, falls out of it? I'm assuming they're just, slip-on, classic hotel slippers.
Yeah, they're hotel slippers.
I don't want to put them on. I don't trust it after the muffins. So I want to, flip it over with my foot.
Yep, fair. You flick it over. It's light, it's furry, as far as you can tell. It's ordinary slippers.
I leave the slippers and I go into the white living room.
You do. You find Pink waiting for you.
Oh, hello again.
Hello. Should we try and dig through a wall?
I wasn't going to go straight for digging. I'm going to have a look at this thing that's not a TV, and I'm going to sit down with my screwdriver and try and take the back off it and figure out what it actually is, because I didn't get it to work last time.
Okay, so you're pulling it away from the wall and you're going to start to investigate?
Yep.
Get me a roll in... You can choose. Do you want to do computers or mechanics?
Well, I'm a bit better at computers, so...
You are a bit better at computers. It's a slightly different thing.
Oh, that
yes,
was a
you can do
2.
Yeah.
All right. 4 total.
So what happens there is you're like, I'll investigate. You pull it away from the wall, and straight away you realise that this really should not be pulled away from the wall. The wires are very taut, and so it's only kind of your basest mechanical instincts that stop you from ripping it off the wall and snapping the wires and breaking it. You just managed to stop yourself from doing that by the skin of your teeth. But you're like, shit, all right. Okay, I'm going to have to take the front off rather than pull it away from the wall.
Okay, all right, cool.
Anyone else? So, Gray, you doing anything specific in your room?
Yeah, my major question, one is is there still a spider web crack on the mirror?
No, it's gone.
Interesting.
Ooh.
How many hands do I have?
Just the one.
Cool.
Same one, that you, as you said before, you're not surprised that you're missing your left hand. It seems entirely normal to you.
Cool. In which case, I'm going to grab my screwdriver, and I am going to, I'm going to grab my screwdriver, and I am going to kind of. With the tip rather than the butt end of it, I'm just going to kind of tap experimentally against it. I am going to then rest my elbow against it for a bit of extra leverage, and I'm just going to try and ram the tip of the screwdriver through the mirror, just kind of at face height.
In face height, or where the spiderweb was before?
Just into the mirror.
Okay, roll...
Strength?
Roll, strength, I think, for that.
That is a 7.
It is indeed a 7. So what happens then is you kind of push it through, and as you would expect, it's spiderweb cracks, as you would normally expect. There's a little bit of give. There's definitely not a cavity behind it, but you kind of remember you investigated it yesterday as well, and there was a little bit of give, and you wonder if maybe there is a tiny space behind it, you're talking maybe a book's worth behind the mirror that's just kind of wobbling. So if you wanted to kind of try and get there, you could.
Cool. Okay. In which case, I'm going to note that. I'm going to turn away and poke my head out into the living room to see who has appeared.
Yep, you see pink is in there and red is in there. And yellow, sorry, forgive me, did you actually enter the room, yellow?
So I just want to check in my room first. Is there anything that looks like it has a screw?
Roll perception for me.
Okay. Rolling on this podcast. 12.
12. Right. So yeah, you raise a kind of check.
I've
It's
never
actually
rolled
11.
perception
You got
before. I was going to say. So
you've got a minus. Yeah, but I still with 11. Like you're like right. I'm kind of enough pissing about with this.
Yeah.
I've had enough. And so you look around the room, and then after like checking for a couple of seconds, you notice that there are some screws in the strangest of places. There are some screws just on the wall. There's like 4 screws, and you kind of notice there's a panel on the wall that you wouldn't really have noticed. It's painted yellow like the rest of the room, but there is indeed like what appears to be like a hand-shaped kind of panel that's been kind of applied to the wall.
I'm going to shout out the door. I think I've found something, and then I'm going to start unscrewing the screws.
Okay.
Pink will come in and assist with unscrewing. Or at least attempt to.
Cool. I just want to check as well. Green, are you up and about at this point?
I was also going to try and investigate my room a bit more and see if there's anything that I didn't notice last time.
Yeah, we'll stay with yellow for a minute, and then we'll come back to green if you're investigating. So yeah, yellow with a bit of help from pink. You kind of unscrew this panel, and the panel comes away. It's just a piece of plastic, like the rest of the place. And behind it there's like a computer screen. It's blank at the minute, possibly off. You can't tell, and like a series of keys next to it. It's like a keyboard, like an alphabet. No, it's just like there's an alphabet, like it's a QWERTY keyboard.
Are there any buttons I can press that look like would turn it on?
Yeah, there's like a couple of... But so what you do is you kind of just tap the keys. And then all that happens is, like, you get like the little bleep, bleep, bleep of like expecting you to type. That flashes up.
I'm going to hold up my arm. Are they the same... Is it in the same lettering as those... whatever's written on my arm?
It is.
I'm gonna point at Pink's... No, Yellow. Yellow's arm and go, try one of those names.
I'm going to type in the first name on my arm.
Okay. And then you whack in the name, or what looks to be like 2 words, for want of a better word. You're assuming names because the first bit is capitalized, but you don't know.
Sorry. It should be one of those words, but...
We'll go for one. Yeah, we'll go for one. We'll go for one. You whack in one of them, and it kind of bleeps around, and it bleeps around for a couple of seconds, and then it types up, and you can read this, and you can understand it. It says insufficient data.
So did I type the whole name, like the whole first line, or just the first?
I think you just typed in. If I've got this right, Pink, you just typed in the very first word up to the first space.
It was me doing it.
Yeah. So Yellow.
I would have. Yeah. I think I typed in the whole line.
If you want to type in the whole line, let's just say you go again. Type in the whole line. It's going to go, and then after a couple of seconds, it's going to be ding, 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 and then it's going to load for a couple of seconds, and then it's going to flash up a name, and that name is going to be. Give me a minute. Didn't think this far ahead. It's going to be. Must think of a unisex name.
Gladys.
Rowan.
Go with some part of a fire. Ash. Cool.
Jamie. Alex.
Ash. I think Ash. We'll go for Ash. We're gonna have Ash.
Sandwich.
Looks around the room.
Skylancer.
Sandwich?
Ash, that's lovely. Yeah, Ash Skylancer. It flashes up.
Gray is going to poke his head has poked his head round the door and goes, anyone want to help me fuck up a mirror?
Oh, please. Can I get up from the TV?
Yep, so red. So I'm going to leave pink and yellow working with the computer.
Yep.
And then
I mean, it makes more sense
Grey...
if I work with the computer, actually, but hey, I want to smash a mirror.
I mean, you're going to help Grey. Just quickly, we're going to cut to Green while Green is investigating. So, Green, what are you doing?
Probably a similar thing to what Yellow was doing. I'm trying to see if there are any screws around that the screwdrivers could be used for, and I want to also actually investigate the books because I didn't actually look at them last time.
Okay, yeah. So you look at the books, and I'm going to need you to roll perception, please.
That is a
That
5
neat
plus
+2 of
2,
yours.
7.
7. The room. You notice nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing seems to jump out. They're for player knowledge, there doesn't appear to be a panel with screws on it in the same way there was in Yellow's room. So this is the first notice you found of a difference between the rooms. The books, however, they all seem to be plastic. And there's nothing out of the ordinary in them. However, you kind of go through it, and then one of them seems to be a little bit heavier than the others. Just a random one, there's nothing... It's green, like all the others, but it does seem to be a little bit heavier.
Can I open it?
No, there doesn't appear to be any way to open it.
Does it seem to have any, sort of slits where it would, joins where it could be pried or
You can kind of
screws or-
see, so you kind of run your finger along it, you can kind of see where it would have been, presumably this was originally 2 pieces of plastic that were fused together. That's kind of how, that you can see the mould line, basically.
Right.
You reckon, it's not particularly hard plastic, you reckon if you could find, something that was suitably cutting, or a big way to apply force, you might be able to get it open. But there's no obvious way to open it. There's no hinge or anything like that. Whatever is inside there seems to have been sealed inside there.
Alright, he's going to wander out into the living room, look around for the mannequin.
The mannequin is indeed there. It only seems to arrive when nobody is looking, and it is there. It is Mr. Dad as yesterday. He is smiling, and he is holding out the tray exactly as before with some muffins on it.
Is it all the muffins as well?
All the muffins, including the pink one that was eaten yesterday, is now back. You also notice a ding, and you notice that it is past midday.
Oh,
Oi,
no.
little uns. Oi, kiddos. It's gone midday, creepy mannequin's here, and I got a book I need one of you to open for me.
Come in here, we're doing things.
I'll be there in a second. I'm just smashing a mirror.
Speaking of,
Yep, so how are you going about this? How are you smashing the mirror? Are you just kind of using the two of you brute force together?
it seemed fairly easy. So honestly, I think each one of us takes a side of the bed and just and we just kind of battering ram the mirror.
Yep, that's
Sounds good to
fine.
me.
I'm going to need you both to roll... That's probably going to be strength again, I think.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
grey and red, right?
Yeah, Red hasn't done strength yet. This will be fun. That's a 9.
It's an 8.
Oh, darn it.
Mine was an
That's
11.
still fine. And you are indeed an 11, grey. That's fine. So the two of you ram the mirror, and just as you kind of hoped would happen, it's a fairly successful maneuver. Some of the pieces of shards of mirror kind of tumble away, and you can see what you can only assume there's writing there that you can read. It's in English. You understand it perfectly. You can't tell what it's written in, but it seems to be some kind of dark paint, perhaps. It's kind of scrawled, and it says simply, "They will lie to you."
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
I'm going to use the screwdriver kind of reverse grip just to kind of clear away some of the rest of the glass. Is there anything else in that alcove?
Yeah, so if you look towards the bottom of it, so again for context, it's a very, very narrow kind of alcove. It's like, it's almost like the mirror's kind of been put on it to cover it up as a hack job.
Okay.
And the other thing you can kind of see kind of down towards the bottom is whatever this liquid was, it's kind of drained down more of it towards the bottom and it's kind of clustered there. It's all it's dry. I need you to roll healing.
Yeah. Is
Yeah,
it
I was
dark
about
red?
to ask. Yeah,
It is dark red.
A dark pigment, yes.
Yeah, it has a dark
that
tone
is
to it,
a 9 makes an 11.
Okay, with the 11, you know two things. One, you would guess this is blood.
Yep.
No way to know whose blood or what blood. The other thing you can kind of tell is that it looks old. Not like ancient, but this is not something that was drawn yesterday. This has been here,
Okay.
you'd say, for some time.
Okay. The you said that so it's scrawled like handwritten. They will lie in blood. It's dripped or pulled down. Is there a does it seem like there's a lot of blood that's kind of collected in this alcove, like someone kind of might have like bled out here?
In your medical opinion, there's not enough blood here for someone to bleed out. This is a lot of blood. Like, it'd be an injury, but it's not like pools of endless blood.
Yeah.
Green will come in, having followed the yell of red, and be like, "Hey, they have mannequins back. The one with the muffins. It weren't there earlier, so got in somehow. Which means there might be a way for us to get out. And I found this book, and it's
ding,
heavy.
It's approaching evening.
Oh dear, we're running out of time, mate.
God, not
The
again.
lights are
Can
beginning
one of you...
to dim.
Oh, look. There's some glass. One of you can use the glass to open this up for me?
I'll pass it to what's his
You mean
face?
you mean the mirror
very
glass?
strong.
Just checking.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it glass or is it plastic?
It's kind of... It's glass. Let's allow this. Let's keep it simple. It's glass.
I was told something cutting was needed, so I'm going to hold out the book to...
Yep.
What did the bed have, like bed sheets on it?
It did. Kind of... I don't know the exact term, but like synthetic cotton, basically.
Polyester?
Very, very basic.
Yeah.
Polyester. That's the word. Polyester bed sheets.
Sweet.
Fantastic. In which case, I'm gonna take the bed. I'm gonna take some of the bed sheets and wrap them around my my wrist, my forearm. So I've got a bit of padding, so the glass doesn't immediately cut into my hand.
Oh God.
Smart.
Yeah, that's sensible.
And just try and do with my best kind of surgeon's incision.
I'll allow you, since you said the word surgeon, I'll allow you to use healing on that.
Thank you very much. Well,
Goodness, what
shit,
are
that's
you
a 1.
Oh
One.
God.
Okay, it did this maneuver that you had the right idea. It didn't work. Immediately, the glass slices through the bed sheet, and you slice your hand. It's not like a serious injury, but you have sliced your hand. You got like a gash in your hand that is bleeding.
Oof,
Yeah.
that don't look
Well,
good, Daddy.
shit.
Give it to me. Give it to me. That looks bad.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
wrap
yeah.
that up. Do you need a hand?
Yeah, I'll take another bed sheet for a bandage and leave you with the glass and the other one. I will
Yep,
attempt
I'll
to
allow
s-
you.
I don't know if Yellow and I have rejoined, or are we type? Shall we just
I
type?
wanted
in the
to
room?
Shall we
type
type
in
in as-
all the names on my arm,
I will
and then all
also
the names on your arm.
Yeah. Let's go through, see what we can find. So we had the first one was Ash. Oh, actually,
Ash.
I'm gonna look around the room for writing implements,
Ooh.
so I
What's
can
the
write
first
them.
one? Ash, what's its face?
Ash Skylancer.
Skylancer.
Skylancer. I'm gonna look around for any kind of pen. I'm gonna check my pockets. I realise I haven't done this.
Oh, good point. Actually.
You pat yourself down, and you find your pockets almost suspiciously empty. They're not lived in. There's not even any dust in the pockets.
This.
It strikes you as odd. You're like you strike yourself as the sort of person that would often carry things in your pockets, yet you have nothing, and you find that very. You almost went to your pocket expecting there to be a pen, yet there isn't one.
This teal jumper is clearly not mine. He's okay. We're gonna go through and type in as many names as we can in the time allotted.
So do we get
That's
anything
smart.
back? So we type in the ones on my arm and the ones on Pink's arm
Yep, just give me 20 seconds.
to just generate 5 names.
So Yellow, I've got Ash Skylancer.
He sounds hot, or she. They sound hot.
They sound dashing.
They
can
do,
only-
don't they?
They can only dash places.
They sound like they could be a bit of an asshole.
Maybe, but you kind of can't begrudge them for it because they're so
Yeah.
dashing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens is you, as the lights are dimming outside, you can feel that like this day is coming to an end. You guys whack in first the names on Yellow's arm. You reckon the entire thing, and then it goes loads for a couple of seconds, and then comes up with the names: Ash Skylancer, Alexis Kessel, and Max Dressler.
Oh, Alexis.
Ooh.
Kessel as in the Kessel Run.
Kessel as in the Kessel Run.
And then
Max who?
Max Dressler. Dressler.
Some nice Star Wars names here.
They are, aren't they?
Dankeschön. They actually all sound really, really Star Warsy. I don't really know how that happened.
Anyway, I would have actually gone more Battlestar Galactica if we're going to keep up that.
I mean, yeah, I kind of wish I'd thought of one of them should be called Ty, but they're not. Anyway, yes, you get those three names. Then the curious thing is you whack in the names, which you look to compare them. They are different. They are different combinations.
All right.
On your arms. Yet you whack them into the computer, and you get the same names back from the computer. The lights are dimming. I will allow you one more attempt to get into the book, Green.
Ooh, okay.
I think I gave it to Red, didn't I?
Yeah, I think I've got the glass shard, so
Red.
I will copy what what's his face did. I've forgotten your colour.
Grey.
Grey. Thank you. I'll
Great.
copy what Grey did.
So Red is doing what Grey did.
Yeah.
Exactly the same, expecting a different result. So what do you want to do? Do you want to roll it on healing, attempting to kind of do your best precision thing? Would you rather just whack it? Do you want to justify it in a different way? What are you thinking?
Let me try and think about it.
Not knowing too much about yourself, what would be your knee-jerk?
See, I seem to
way
think
to
I'm
kind
good
of
with
approach
like
this
tech
problem.
and small things and fiddly things, and I've got to know how to open a computer casing, but not usually with a glass shard. But if I can try.
So do you want to kind of treat? Yeah. So do you want to roll it on mechanics, and you'll treat it almost like you understand the physics, you
Yes.
understand the force and the
Perfect.
pressure on
Yep,
the
yep,
on
yep.
the plastic. Yep. So roll mechanics.
and in like a safety way as well, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's an 8 plus 1, 9.
Okay. Yeah. Kind of punches through the plastic. It's pretty weak plastic. Punches through. You kind of pull the shard along, and then you can prise open the book. It's like I said, weak plastic. You get in, and what you find inside looks to be, to the best guess of yours, it looks like a key card.
Oh.
Like, it's quite weighty. It's thicker than like a hotel key card, but like you being familiar with tech, kind of recognize this as the sort of thing that would open a door, and it's blue.
Blue door. Oh my god.
Hey, reckon that'll work for that blue door, miss?
Run.
I run
And
to
then
the blue
at
door.
this point,
Wait,
no, I'll let you get to the door. I'll let you get to the door. But like, yeah, the lights have pretty much
The
dimmed,
light is dimming, yeah.
and the light is dimming, and the voice, same as yesterday. I can't remember exactly what I said, so I apologise. But it was something.
Choice has been
It's something
made,
like,
or...
yeah. Are you prepared to make a choice? 2 may leave, 3 must remain.
But we don't
Are you
know
ready
numbers.
to make your choice?
So,
Yes.
this
it
means
says
nothing
that. You
to
don't
us.
understand what it means. Fuck, I keep
Yeah,
forgetting about
numbers
the
don't
number thing.
exist, Matt.
I keep forgetting about the numbers.
which means
Sorry.
that you're just giving us a choice we cannot answer because we don't know
Yeah.
what it means.
I'll solve that problem later. For the time being, I'm basically asking you, like,
Run really dramatically, vault furniture, my red ball gown flapping behind me, bare feet slapping on the floor, and slam the keycard into whatever looks like a keycard reader on that blue door.
ding, 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 access confirmed.
I push it open. Or pull it.
Inside, you find similar to the previous rooms, it is a blue room. There's no bed in this one. In fact, it is entirely featureless. It is just simply a blank blue room, and laid out on the floor in front of you are 5 jumpsuits.
Nice.
I would like you to roll perception as one of the automatons. They're walking down the stairs. They are arriving. The lights are going out. You're going to get one look at this.
9.
See how well you do. A 9.
Yeah.
Okay. 9. You can notice that one of the jumpsuits is indeed remarkably tall. They don't appear to be gendered in any way, but one of them is quite tall. You'd hazard a guess that's probably about Pink's size.
Yeah.
You will also notice that one of the other jumpsuits has some red stains down the front of it and what look like bullet holes.
Oh my god, what colour's that one?
They're all the same colour. They're all kind of like a pale white.
Ooh. Okay.
And at that point,
Yeah.
the automatons are coming in. Unless anyone wants to do anything
I
specific,
want
I'm
to
going
do.
to
All right,
reset.
I want to do one really weird
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I want to
Yeah, yeah.
take my screwdriver, and on the inside of the pocket of my hoodie, I want to use it to punch a hole through my hoodie.
Right, punch a hole through the inside of your hoodie.
Yeah, I want to know if it'll still be there the next day.
Yeah. That's...
Yep, you do that.
I
You
want to do something
successfully-
really fucking stupid and reckless.
You gonna
Yep.
chop off your other arm?
Nope, I want to try. I want to just run towards one of the automatons and just try to like drop kick it or some shit.
Yep, go for it. Roll combat, please.
You do have a +1 in combat.
Do I?
No,
he
That's
doesn't.
not me.
That's
I
me.
rolled a 3, so...
Wrong sibling.
You roll a 3. You go to drop kick it. It's like so. You pick the nearest mark, which looks to be like it's a female one wearing a dress. You kind of notice they all seem to look quite similar. These look like factory produced models. They're wearing similar outfits, just variant in color. You go to drop kick her. You kick her off like kind of the stomach, and you bounce right off. Like she is way harder than she looks.
Okay.
And then she responds without moving her lips or any way. She doesn't make a single sound, but she immediately comes down, braces you to the floor round the neck without allowing you to move. With her other hand, she reaches behind you, produces some manacles and slaps them on your ankles. Cut to black.
Fantastic.
Ooh. Yeah.
So you all awaken in the same strange place that you always awaken.
Oh no.
The only
God
major
damn
difference is now yellow. The first thing you're going to notice is you no longer have any manacles on you. However, grey, you do almost identical to what yellow had waking up the previous 2 days. You are now manacled at the feet.
Great.
What would you like to do?
Wait. Have I still got the key guard? Probably not.
No, you do not have the keycard. It's
Right.
gone.
I'm gonna run out and try and get that as fast as possible again.
Yep. So you want to go grab the
I'm
book
slowly
in,
groaning myself out of bed, like, oh, my aching. Oh, I know.
Hello, sorry, I need this. Okay.
Oh, yeah, book as it's up, like, reach up the bookshelf to, like, is the heavy book still there?
Yep, the book is still there as it was
good.
before, and you shake it, and there is something in it that seems to be exactly the same again, as far as you can tell.
I hand it over to Red.
Thank you. I'm gonna go open it best I can.
With what?
I'll go get my screwdriver again if I can.
Screwdriver? Yep. Okay, that's fine.
I would like to examine my cut hand.
What are you looking for specifically?
For a start, I didn't have the capacity to disinfect it or anything like that, so does the cut look... Does it look like it has been cleaned or cared for by someone other than me? And does it look like it's had, say, more than a night's healing?
Roll healing or medicine for me, please.
Or less than a night's healing.
Indeed. That was a 13.
Okay, yeah, your medical skills are on point. You can tell straight away that this has definitely been dressed and infected. There's no gauze on it or no actual bandage on it, but it's definitely seen some medical attention. It looks to have been, to the best of your knowledge, the wound's been cleaned, disinfected. If you was to guess timing, it's fairly recent. Like, you can't be sure, but a night would be about right between
around
a night and
about
24 hours.
24 hours-ish.
Yeah, like it's no longer bleeding, it's scabbed over, it's been treated, but it hasn't yet healed. So your
Cool.
guess would be around 20 hours maybe.
Cool.
Is there a hole still in my hoodie?
There is still a hole in your hoodie.
I stick
Eliza,
my nose through
Eliza. Thank you.
Hey.
it. And we're back.
Holes in people, heal. Holes in hoodies, do not heal.
Noted.
I was mostly checking to see if they changed our clothes.
If you wanted to investigate that further, if that's the kind of angle you're looking at, you can roll perception.
What, hoodie's healing?
What, me with the -1 perception?
Well, yeah, like if you're looking, like if your specific thing is, you know, do they change the clothes, and that's what
Oh,
you're
I
looking
see.
for.
Me?
You
Yeah, I
can-
can see if I can find that out. I got a 1, and my perception is -1. As far
It's
as
a
I'm
hoodie.
concerned, this hoodie is a part of me.
It is a hoodie. That is all you
What
know.
are clothes?
I'm almost certain this is a hoodie.
Do I need to roll to get the key card?
No, I'll let you get the key
Okay,
card.
cool.
You know what
Yeah.
you're doing now. Like
Done it
you can kind of
before.
prise it open with your screwdriver. Takes a bit of effort, but you pop it open as you expect. There is a blue key card.
Cool.
Yeah, you have that.
Didn't find out what it did we?
Retrieve my...
Yeah, it opens
Oh,
the
it's
blue
the
door.
door.
Open the blue door.
Sorry.
I'm
Thank you,
going
yeah.
to retrieve my screwdriver and shuffle after Red towards the blue door.
Yep, you have your screwdriver. It's in the same place.
I will. I'm gonna flip the I'm going to first retrieve my screwdriver, and then I'm going to flip my bookcase just to make sure there's either no items in it, or if there is something in it, be very happy about it.
Yep, you pull it away from the wall. It comes away easy. Books fall off. They're just plastic books, to the best of your knowledge.
All of them are plastic books.
Yeah, there's only about like 7 or 8, and as far as you can kind of shake each one, there doesn't appear to be any key cards hidden in any of those.
Sweet. I will exit and join red and green.
Did we all see inside the blue room last time?
No.
I don't. I think it
Well, I
was
think we
just one
only
of you
just
to get
about
out.
opened the door.
Cool. Then I will call everyone over. Hey, I found something pretty important. You might want to look at this. And
Just give me a
What's up?
second. Just give me a second. I'll be on my way. And I hobble out, kind of like crab walking a little bit.
I look
Because
you up and down. You look like shit.
Oh dear, Sonny, that don't look too good.
nah, don't. And I have retrieved the screwdriver from under my bed, and I am just sat on the. There's like a sofa in the white room in the centre, isn't there?
Yeah, think the Simpsons living room. There's like a sofa facing a television.
Yeah, cool. I will sit on that.
It's not a
and...
particularly comfortable sofa. I discovered this.
Okay,
Yeah, it's like
I
plastic,
will
and
it has a very minimal
start
cushion.
digging out the. Start trying to pry away the manacles.
cuffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can either sit there and I'll allow you to do it after a passage of time, or you can roll if you want to do it fast. But you'll get them off. They're not heavy duty.
I want to start throwing jumpsuits out the room.
Yeah,
yeah, so
Actually,
you
wait,
open-
whoa, hold up. Let's take a
See which
look
one
at them
fits you.
first.
We need to find out
Wait,
which-
don't go throwing them around. They might be lying in a certain way.
Too late. I picked up the really tall one.
Tomorrow.
I've picked up the tall. I've picked up the tall one and thrown it at. I've forgotten Peter's character's name.
Pink.
What colour is
Pink.
he? Pink. I've thrown it at Pink because that's got to be his because he's a giant baby child man.
I will.
Yep.
And the rest of them, I mean, now that Green said that, are they lying in any particular way?
Yeah, can I look around the room and see like what's in the blue room besides some
So
jumpsuits?
the room itself seems to be completely featureless. It looks to be like the 6th one in a set. It's about the same dimensions and kind of aesthetic as all the ones you woke up with, but this one doesn't have a bookcase or a bed. It's just bare walls, bare floor. Apart from they were all laid out like side by side, almost like they were on display.
Which order were they in?
So on the far left was the very, very tall one, and on the far right was the one with bullet holes in, and the 3 in the middle are completely just lined
the
up
same,
again.
Right. I think we should try them on and see whose is whose, and we can work out if one of us has been shot or if that was one of. I don't know. Maybe that would it
Well,
help?
check where the bullet holes are and check on your body if you have scars, Red.
I'm gonna put on the pink jumpsuit and then look round for another means of exiting.
So I just want to clarify: the jumpsuits aren't coloured, are they?
No.
No.
Where on the body are the bullets?
So yeah, they are kind of chest area. There's actually, Lukey, would you roll for me, please, on combat? I'll get you roll on combat.
Using my yellow die for yellow. I got a 10.
No, you didn't. You got a 12.
Ooh!
Hey.
I knew I was a punchy
Kick-ass Billie Eilish.
girl. Yeah, I
Yeah,
am.
something kind of stirs at the back of your mind, and you're familiar with ballistics. And so straight away you can tell that this has been. You can tell straight away this was not an automatic weapon that did this. This is like single shots. There are 3. They're kind of all in the kind of upper chest area. You recognize this as like if you were a trained marksman and you think you might be a fairly trained marksman, this wouldn't be the shot you'd take. If it was you'd aim for the head. You'd go bam, 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 aim for a headshot, take your enemy out.
Yeah.
Whereas these look more like somebody who's seen a couple of movies would do. It's a bigger target. They've not clustered at all, so they're clearly not a great marksman. Which leads you to conclude this was probably done at close range.
Close
I'm
range.
Can I check my chest to see if I have any scars?
Yeah, you feel around and you don't appear to have any wounds or scars that you can find on your body.
Can I work out which jumpsuit is mine?
Yeah, so I'm you can kind of treat it as a group thing.
That's what I want to do as well because that's what I was talking about.
Which
with
one
sizing
smells
and
of
stuff.
mint imperials?
So what you can do is, it takes no prizes to work out that Pink's one is the tall, thin one. That, like, if you try it on, it does indeed seem to fit, like, snugly. Not like, not impossible it couldn't fit anybody else. It's quite a loose thing, but given the height of it, it's a fair guess this one's yours. The others, all four of you are loosely enough the same size. These are clearly, like, standard issue jumpsuits.
Darn it. They're all size medium, and that covers everything from...
Yeah, they're all, like they're baggy on some
all.
of you, they're tighter on others, but like, there's no real way to tell between the other four of you.
Do they smell of anything? Can I sniff?
Roll perception.
Okay.
Perception of the nose.
That's a 4.
Not as like the one that's got bullet holes in it smells quite strongly of sweat, which it would be to be expected of an injured person. That's true. The other three, like if not for a 4, there's nothing really you can.
Nah, okay, can't
work
tell.
Has anyone else checked themselves for bullet wounds?
I was just about to ask that.
Alright. Yeah, I'll check.
Yep. So Red, you check, and there are no bullet holes on you at all.
Green pulls open his dressing gown.
I forgot you.
Oh,
Green!
Yeah, there are no bullet holes. You bare your chest, Green, and there
How
are
old are
no
those
scars
pants?
He's only pulling open the top of it. He's not like...
I can
Glad
see
he's
them.
wearing some, but...
there are no no bullet
Pants.
holes on you, Green.
He's not going the full kimono combat.
Right. Gray, what about you?
Any on Grey?
No bullet holes on Grey either.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
Might seem stupid, but I'll check myself for bullet holes.
Well,
Just to be safe, Pink checks as well, and lo and behold, there are no bullet holes.
Oh, thought not.
do any of the jumpsuits have, like, gun residue on them? You know, gunpowder residue.
Good question. Roll combat. That's in your wheelhouse.
It
That's
is.
a good one.
Oh, I rolled a 10, so I got a 12.
Yeah. One of them, one of the normal sized ones, does. Like, you can kind of see. So it's not gun residue. Like, you recognize this. We're in a slightly sci-fi world. You recognize this as, like, the faint kind of smell of, like, singed scorcher. So this is like a pressurized bolt gun, you reckon, has done this.
Right.
And one of the medium-sized ones does appear to have residue on it. There's no way you can tell if it's the same source, but it would be a Sherlock Holmesian guess that this might have been the shooter.
Occam's razor. Well, I hate to break it to you guys, but there's a chance one of us killed the other one.
I mean, come on, let's not...
We should still put this order that... Oh, damn it, invoice. Ordered there was another one of us beforehand. Either way, these are going to be necessary if we want to explore further. So, as a medical man, I'm going to volunteer for the bloodstained suit.
Wait,
down and
hold
seeing
up,
blood
young
on
man.
myself.
Why are we putting on the jumpsuits?
They're possibly going to be... I'm assuming they're going to be necessary.
I'm not getting involved in this. And I'm going to turn and I'm going to walk towards the stairs.
Matt, they're not spacesuits, are they? They're just jumpsuits. They offer no, particular...
they're not... They've not any breathing apparatus or protection or anything. They're just like a boiler
It's got a
suit.
big pocket.
So I'm now
It's a
walking
screwdriver
towards
in.
the stairs.
I'm already in mine. Question. Do they have pockets?
Yeah, they've got like they're kind of standard issue things. They got quite a few pockets as it goes. Like they got pockets on the legs.
Let's rummage through all the pockets. Which one had blaster score on it, by the way, or whatever it's called?
It was one of the medium-sized ones. There's no way really to tell them apart unless you investigate closer.
But we're lined up, left or right.
Oh, is the one next to the one with bullet holes in?
I'm going to change into it because I'm wearing a ridiculous ball gown and I would rather be in a suit.
I'm going to stay in my hoodie.
Yep.
I'm comfy.
Yep, allowed. Red's changed.
Yeah, I'm going to change out my scrubs.
Red, I'd like you to roll perception, please.
Ooh, okay. Use a different dice. 6?
Yep, just 6. This one does smell. Now you're in it, it smells of something. You can't quite put your finger on it.
Ooh.
You might have to muse
Someone
on it.
I know,
You recognise the smell, and you associate it with something in the back of your memory.
Ooh, okay. I'll keep that in my mind and try and work on that while we're doing other things. Mm-hmm. Oh, has anyone told us about the names on our arms? Names on arms, people, not to metagame or anything.
We've all got the same names on our arms.
We have what now?
I'm reckoning by now I've probably made it to the stairs.
Yes, sorry.
Green, come back!
So,
What
yeah.
are you doing?
Did you want to go up the stairs?
Yep, I'm going to go up the stairs.
Okay, so the stairs are
He
kind
took
of...
massive
they're one of
offence
those...
to being told to wear a jumpsuit. It's too old to
Yeah.
be getting changed.
So Green goes up the stairs, and it's kind of like what you might expect of a small 1950s middle American house. So you go up the stairs, you kind of reach a wall, you turn back around again, and you're kind of in the floor above. Simple as that. The floor that kind of occupies the next story. And what you see before you is a fairly broad corridor. And there are 2 doors on the left side, 2 doors on the right side, and 1 door directly ahead of you at the end of the corridor. This looks like a fairly ordinary upstairs of a house. The doors are not coloured, they're all brown.
Cool.
Right.
Sorry, how many doors, just to get my bearings?
There are 2 to the left, 2 to the right, and 1 at the far end, so 5 in total.
Right, I will attempt to go through the one nearest left.
Oh, that was so creepy.
That was spooky!
The sun is almost reaching down. At this point,
Yikes.
so Green, you've seen the upstairs. I'd like everyone who's in the main room, still downstairs, to roll perception for me really, really quickly.
Okay.
7.
For me, that is flat 10.
So none of you, so Grey, you notice, I'll just allow it because, for the sake of speed, you notice that, so in the living room there are a couple of windows, on both ends that don't have the doors. The one that you broke earlier, the one that you tried to get through, you notice that the light coming through that door goes out later than the others. All the other lights kind of begin to dim in unison, whereas that one stays on for about 10 seconds longer than the others, and then it just flicks off to nothing, rather than
Ooh, we broke
gradually
the dimmer.
fading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And there was a thing with shutters coming down, wasn't there?
So the shutters came down when you tried to break it. The next morning the shutters were no longer there and the window was repaired.
I see. Okay.
Still showing the same sort of fake vista, but this one just goes from on to off, whereas all the others seem to kind of fade with some kind of natural light.
I'm going to note that and save it for later, and
Yep.
then after, because I've seen where pink and green and gone, I'm going to go out the blue room and go see anyone creepy up there?
And as a matter of fact, you do.
Oh, no.
So you've positioned yourselves in exactly the right place. So before your very eyes, down the corridor, you see, turns out there's an attic. A stairwell kind of clanks down, very mechanical, very not like the rest of the dollhouse. This looks very industrial and space age. This kind of ramp clanks down from above, and 7 or 8 of the dolls start walking down the ramp to come and get you.
I try the nearest door.
Left or right?
Right.
Right. You find yourself in quite a small, cramped room that looks to you like a study. There is a computer. There is a little desk. It just looks like a very small kind of workman's study.
But like a doll's
nobody in
house
there.
one or like a real one?
Kind of, and like a weird marriage of the two. It's kind of all the furnishings are very much like a dollhouse, but the computer itself looks real, as does the chair. And there's also a photograph which is clearly human. There's a photograph that doesn't look dollhouse at all. It's a black and white photograph of a man.
I will wedge the chair under the door handle.
Hey.
Okay, I'm going to need you. Good idea. I'm going to need you to roll. That's probably combat, I suppose.
Oh dear.
It's kind of like a physical thing. Or
I
strength.
say oh
Would
dear,
you rather
maybe?
combat or strength? Strength or combat?
I'll go for...
Do you know how you are at those?
No, literally the only thing I know about is perception.
Oh, well, yeah. You're an old man. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know.
I'll go for strength.
Yep. Okay,
That was
roll.
an 11.
Nah, it wasn't, mate. It was a 9.
But
But that's still not a bad roll. Yeah, so you do successfully. You kind of push the chair just as the automatons are coming towards you. You push the chair up and you wedge the door. Won't hold for long, but it might buy you a minute or two. Pink, you said you wanted to do something.
Yes. I was going to say, could I have also pushed into this room?
Yeah, I'll allow it. So you've gone in with Green. Yeah, you're kind of both
Just
in there. One
following
of you can
Green.
brace the door. This is moving fast. Some automatons you can kind of hear are banging on the door trying to get it open. Others are going down the stairs. You three guys downstairs see, lo and behold, the dolls coming down with their smiley faces.
Oh, we see them move.
Yeah, the dolls are moving towards you.
Do they actually, like, do their legs move?
Yeah, their
kind of
legs
glide?
move, like, think like doll on a music box style.
Yeah.
It's very kind of...
Ooh, okay.
Turning around on a music
Yeah, think that. Like,
round
it's
and around.
all, and like, literally that. It's almost... They don't look like they've been designed to be soldiers. They look like toys, and they seem to move like toys.
Okay. In
Yeah, in a very
which
creepy way.
case, I want to try and... So they're coming down this circular stairwell towards us.
Correct?
I would like to go, Yellow, try help me trip one up as it comes down, and as it like, because they got to step towards
Push
me.
the
I just
sofa.
want to,
Push
I just
the
want to
sofa in
grab an
front of
ankle
them.
while it's at head height and just yank it towards me.
I say, what, and try and trip up the doll? Yeah, I'll allow that.
Or
As they're walking-
grabbing it with my one hand, bracing my foot against the stair, and just hoik.
Yep, I will allow you to do that. You will take a -1 because you got an injured hand.
Yes,
but
yeah.
I'll still allow it. Also, as they're marching down, this is all happening. The voice that you heard from before comes over like intercoms from Lord knows where, and it's like, more will stay, less will leave. Have you made your choice? Yep, you can feel free to completely ignore that and continue. Yeah, so you're ready. Yeah, I'll just have you roll. Is anyone assisting? Is anyone helping
Yeah, I
Gray
want to
with
help
this?
him.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
help
Yellow.
them too.
Yeah, okay, group effort. I'll allow you... If it's a group effort, all of you roll, like...
Okay.
And then
Combat?
I'll kind of work it out, depending on how well you do. Yeah, all roll combat, I think this is.
That's an 8 plus 2, so 10.
That's a 1.
Yep.
Well
6.
7, 6.
I'm
Okay.
rolling well today. 7-6.
Okay, so, yeah, I think so. Yellow is freaking snaps into it, like something is stirred in her. She's kind of aware this sort of situation is not alien to her.
She's
ready
Buffy.
for the maneuver. Gray's up for it. Red, something stops you at the last minute. It's not that you cock up. It's that, like, at the last minute, you just have, like, a moment where you're like, oh, God, I'm not sure. Like, your nerves desert you at the last minute.
Aww.
Okay.
But Yellow, yeah, I'll allow you. So you go for the ankle, you trip one of these androids up, and the lead android, it's dressed like a freaking middle American
Android.
dad. Well, robot android, you know, a
They're
walk-in
not as
freaking
mannequins
automaton.
anymore.
I do one of those, like cool, like, low sweep kicks where you, like, spin around while you're crouched. I look really
It goes
awesome.
over, it goes head first into the ground, and like these things seem to be quite durable, but so it hits the ground and it just kind of tries to carry on walking on the ground, but isn't
no.
getting anywhere.
Oh, I hate that.
It kind of spins its head round to look at you, and like
Oh.
something in the eyes, like even though they seem to be painted, something in it looks accusing. It's just like, how dare you, kind of thing. It's staring daggers at you, Yellow.
I punch
The
it in the
others
face.
are following. They seem unconcerned with the fallen one. They're kind of walking around to kind of get you. Last couple of moves before they go for you.
I'd like to do the playground bully thing where I line up one of the upright mannequins with the fallen mannequin and try and push it backwards so it trips over the fallen mannequin.
You want to take
Yep. I'll allow you to go for it. Do a quick roll.
I'd like to do the playground bully thing and steal its go-go's.
I'd like to demand its lunch money. 8 plus or minus combat.
You have no plus or minus to combat.
Cool. So just a flat 8.
Flat 8. Yeah, so you push it back, it kind of stumbles, and it is managed to be braced by the mass of other automatons coming behind. What it does do, though, is as it falls back, it manages to accidentally stomp on, like, the neck of the android that's on the ground. When reveal android, the head kind of jerks back. It's kind of strong enough to damage its own kind, and sparks fly out, and the one on the ground starts to kind of quiver. Like, clearly it's been damaged by this maneuver.
Yes.
You've kind of taken one out. However, I am going to, like, the rest of them are then going to crowd round you and start grabbing you, like, the day is done, and we're going to cut to black on the downstairs. I'm going to reset there.
Yeah, I want to resist. I want to fight. I want to be scrappy.
I'll allow you to roll one combat roll, but there are more and more coming down.
So the success will be a matter of how long you resist rather than do
Yellow
you
has
win.
just
Yeah, yeah.
discovered that she's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yep.
That's an 11, so 13.
Yeah, I'll allow you... Alright, yeah, for that, what I'll say, so the one on the ground is it's gone. It appears to be completely broken. Just as you can see your comrades being taken, and you manage to resist a little longer, Yellow, so you get a good look at what actually happens when the automatons get to your comrades, Red and Grey. And what they seem to do is they kind of grab them, and then they kind of touch their foreheads, and then there's a pulse of light off of the hand that seems to put them straight to sleep. So that's what they're doing, is they're kind of grabbing you across the forehead as a pum, and then Grey and Red both fall down, apparently completely unconscious. One of them is coming at you with a hand. It does manage to get you, but just before it does, you get your screwdriver and you just jam the screwdriver right through the eye socket of the one coming at you.
Yeah, I do.
It doesn't seem to stop it, but
it
you do
makes
see
me feel
sparks
better.
fly as it turns you and makes you fade to black.
And it makes me feel
That
a
one,
lot
incidentally,
better.
that one was dressed like a vicar. It was dressed almost like a little sleepy town vicar. Bizarrely, had the little dog collar and the vicar's kind of black outfit. Even what looked like kind of balding hair.
What happened to green and pink up in there?
Back to green and pink. So
Let's
green and
find
pink,
out.
you these androids are pushing down the door. One of you can brace it. One of you can investigate the room.
I will. I'll say.
Take the
move,
door, man.
Move. Go to the computer, and then I will brace the door with. I'm going to use strength because I don't know
I
if
think
I have
that's
good strength.
I think that's an excellent move. I would use strength if I were you.
Says the terrifying GM.
I have rolled a 12.
You are rolled a
You've
12.
rolled a
Nice.
12. Pink, have you rolled a 12? Yes, you've rolled a 12.
Yay!
That is, no buffs on strength. But yeah, so yeah, using your big bulk, exploring your physicality, you become aware of something you weren't really aware of before, which is you're kind of aware how lithe you are, kind of that, you don't look particularly strong, you're very thin and spindly, but you become aware when you start to brace it that you are actually quite strong, and you're used to bearing kind of heavy loads. This doesn't seem alien to you. There's strength in your thin arms. More than it's deceptive how strong you are given how you look.
Good to know.
Green, what are you doing?
I'm going to go to the photo and grab it and try and, look at it first. But
Yep, roll
ultimately, I
perception.
want to get it out of my frame and stuff it into, my...
Underpants.
into my underwear.
Yep, okay. Do you want to look at it before you stuff it
Yes, I'm
down
gonna look at it
down your
first.
jocks? Cool. Roll perception.
You've got to know who's in your underpants.
Who are
That's a
you
good
stuffing down your
soundbite.
underwear? Yeah.
Do you want to look at this before you stuff it in your
That
pants?
is an 8 plus 2, so 10.
That is correct. Right. So, right. So yeah, for a 10, so you notice straight. So it's like a black and white photograph. Somewhere from the back of your mind, you become aware that you're quite skilled in history. You clearly know a bit about history.
I am very old.
And you
I
are
probably lived
you're
through
kind of aware this is. Yeah, Well, I don't think you're aware you didn't live through it. You know, it's older than you are.
Wow, very old.
It's a black and white photograph. You'd guess it's from old Earth, pre-spaceflight, pre-colonization. You'd say, you'd say pre-50s, but it's hard to be sure. It's a man in kind of his mid-30s, I guess, very clean-cut looking. You feel like you recognize him. You feel like you've seen this photograph before somewhere. But you can't quite place a name to it, but you feel like this is a figure of eminence in the theatres of science that you've seen before. The other thing you notice is there is something written in what looks like biro in the bottom corner, and it says 2 words, Bergun rum. So that's Bergen space rum, R-U-M.
How did you come up with all of this in 5 minutes?
That one I didn't come up with in 5 minutes. That one's one that I may have come up with.
G-E-N.
I shove it
Most
into
of
my
it is within
underwear.
5 minutes.
And then
You
rum
stuff
is
it
in
in
the
your-
drink, Matt. B-E-R-G-E-N space R-U-M.
Yep. So, Green, if you're going to stuff it into your underwear, I would like you to roll stealth, please.
Stealth. Ooh, this is a new one.
Stealth is a skill. Yeah, we've
Underwear
not used it
stuffing
yet.
is a stealth thing, you know?
That is a 10.
It is indeed a 10. Yeah, you successfully... It's not a particularly big picture. You managed to stuff it down. Unless they're going to investigate very closely. I don't think anyone's going to find out. And at this point, a hand comes through the door.
Oh no.
It grabs Pink over the head and puts him to sleep.
Nap time.
Androids are coming in.
I'm going to
They're gonna
sit
put...
down, being like, "Oh,
On the-
I'm too old for this fall. Bear with me, Dave."
If you sit down and you don't resist, the lead automaton kind of pauses for a minute to regard you. It's almost like you've done something it didn't expect, and it's struggling to process it.
I'm just like
Then after
leaning
a
back
couple-
against the wall, like, "Yep, there's old bones." You know?
Yeah, it pauses. After a couple of seconds, it then reaches out and puts you to sleep. But there was definitely a moment where it was like, new behaviour, this doesn't compute. Haven't seen this before, kind of thing. It took it a minute to work out how it should respond to that.
No one has ever seen me and not screamed.
Oh.
So lonely.
Then all of y'all awaken in a strange place. Same place as before, same setup.
Yellow
Grey
turns over and goes
and
back to
yellow and red now have restraints on them.
Oh no.
Just on the ankles?
Just on the ankle, same as before. Say literally the same thing. You might even hazard a guess it's literally the same handcuffs that have been like cobbled back together and
Is
put
the
on you. It's hard
photo
to
in
tell.
my pants?
The photo is in your pants.
Yay! We have successfully established that they
Soundbite.
don't check our pants.
Well,
They do not change your clothes.
We have won the
We must be
game.
getting
I'm going to
stinky.
go home.
And on that note,
You are
Pink,
home.
you wake up to discover that you are indeed still wearing the jumpsuit.
I'm still wearing the jumpsuit. Cool.
Yep.
Oh.
Anyone? I forget. Did Red you changed as
Yeah,
well?
I
believe?
changed too.
Yep. You're still wearing the jumpsuit also. They've not changed your clothes.
And
Are
a
you-
snazzy pair of manacles.
I will.
Yep.
I will
okay.
jump up and kick open the door and just be like, right. We have
Yep.
actions to do and a new place to explore. Who's got Oh wait, hang on. Who's got manacles?
Me.
I've got
Just give me a
manacles, I'm
second.
like
I have a
hobbling out.
screwdriver.
And I saw what happens when we fall asleep. I saw what they do.
What
Oh, they were
happens?
very nice about it.
Sure.
Oh, what happens?
They like touch your forehead and there's like a big light and then you're just out.
I recommend
Red,
helmets.
roll computers.
Yep. Yes.
I roll
11
healing?
plus
11.
2. 13.
You know exactly what this is. This is a brain numbing device. You don't know exactly how you know this, but you're definitely familiar with it. You're like, oh yeah, it's a knockout thing. It like sends an electric pulse to the brain. It kind of sips it into like a very medically safe coma for 20 hours.
Great.
You're familiar with it. It's used in like riot patrols and stuff like that. It's quite common technology.
20
Oh boy.
hours.
20 hours.
Or
20.
X amount of hours, for we do not know numbers.
Do we
This is
do we
true.
have an estimate of
Yeah.
how... Yeah, that's a point. Do we have an estimate of... Oh, wait, sorry, hang on. How much of a day is that?
Yeah, a long time.
Slightly less
Most of
than
the
a full-
day. Most
Puts
of
you
the
to
day.
sleep for slightly less than a full day. Yeah.
Do I know how to stop it? Like, what would work? Can you wear a metal helmet? Can you, tinfoil your head?
Roll computers again.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a little bit more information.
That's fair. That was definitely less good. That was a 2, so that's a 4.
You feel like there are ways to fix it. You're gonna have to muse on it. I'll let you kind of roll again in a bit,
Okay.
like after you kind of muse on it.
Yeah,
You are
that's
definitely aware there are ways, and you're gonna steer towards the idea that like it's probably practical. It's not like you have to reprogram it or do anything particularly fancy. There are probably ways to just trip out the system.
Yeah, okay. While we're on me and remembering things, has the smell of the jumpsuit reminded me of anything else having worn it all night?
Roll perception.
Okay.
please.
Like, while we're on me.
while we're on you.
While it's about me, that's an 8.
I'll also allow you. You're all like working on the handcuffs. We're not wasting any time. With
Yeah,
that.
no,
You're all
I'm
kind
sitting
of
on the
getting
floor
that.
with my
Smash,
screwdriver.
crunk, crunk,
Yeah, yeah.
crunk.
Sniffing my arm. 8.
8. Yeah, you reckon you can get your handle on it. In fact, you're going to reach out to like whoever's nearest for you, and you're going to say like, "Does this smell like?" And they're like, "Yeah, it does." It smells new to you. This one, like all the others, smell like faintly of like engine oil and kind of bulkheads and metal and rust and the kind of thing you'd expect of a lived-in boiler suit. The one you're wearing and remember this is like this one, which has the kind of residue on it from the gun, seems to smell like it's a bit off the shelf. It reminds you of like whenever you buy a new T-shirt, you know what I mean? That kind of synthetic cotton smell. It's got that.
Yeah. Shop smell.
Someone's familiar with a shopping spree.
Red, I'd like your assistance. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run into my room, grab the bookcase, pick it up, and then when we get... So if we all going to get the blue door open, I would like to attempt to carry it up the stairs with assistance and put it underneath the door that comes down.
I'll help you.
To brace it so that the so the androids don't come in. You can do that.
That's where the creepy things come from. I say.
Yeah, they come from like a panel that comes down from above. Yes, you can absolutely do that.
While they're doing that, I want to
Pink,
explore a different upstairs room.
I want to go
you can all
with
kind
him.
of go up together. I'll just say, Pink, like you don't actually need help to lift it. The bookcase is, as we established, it's pretty cheap plastic. It's not the heaviest thing in the world.
So I'm imagining just kind of oversized Fisher-Price toys.
Aww.
Yeah, that's exactly what I got in my head,
long,
actually.
But maybe it will give us like a few seconds notice.
It might buy you, like you're kind of aware this isn't like the gates of Helm's Deep sort of thing. Like, but it might buy you some time. It might also allow you to get up there if you wanted to climb it.
Ooh, we can climb up there. I want to climb up there.
I think people were going to a room first.
Yeah, I want to pick it. Let's all pick a different room.
Did you? Sorry, I don't want to guide you too much, but are you still got the picture in your pants, Green?
Oh yeah, I pulled it out and put it into my dressing gown pocket so no one could know.
So no one has seen it. Is that?
No one's known it's been in my underwear.
We can smell it, Green.
And now I'm going to be like, red one. That room there's got a computer in, and I found Bergun rum mean anything to anyone? And I'm gonna like pass around the photo.
Anyone have a flash?
As long as he doesn't have a flash.
How dramatically you take it out.
That's not what I meant. I meant a flash.
If you wanted to investigate it, you can roll.
Should we all just stare at this picture intently for a minute?
All of you roll.
I got a 10, so I got a 9.
Yeah, you kind of know the same as Green. You vaguely recognise it, but you don't know where from.
Perfectly flat 8, I believe.
Yeah, kind of like collectively, you're pretty sure this is. You can't remember his name, but you're pretty sure that this is like a figure from the history of robotics. Like you're kind of like, yeah, this is definitely somebody like who designed a robot or designed a computer or something like that. It's like
some nerd.
Like to you, Yellow. It's like, oh yeah, I've seen that. That's some nerd, isn't it? Like you've seen it around. So you can go up. As we established, there are 2 doors on each side. The door first on your right is the study where you found the picture, and there are like 2 doors left, 2 doors right, and 1 at the far end.
While these people are commenting on nerds, I'm going to try the left nearby door.
Left on the door.
I'll try the left far door.
Oh no, I'm gonna like flag you down and be like, Red, there's a your computer, right? There's a computer in that one.
Oh, okay, sure. I'll go in that one. Which one's that? The left near?
The right near.
First right.
Oh,
and then I'm gonna head for the right far.
Just discovered that Red is dyslexic and does not know left and right.
That's canon.
This evening.
And so Grey, you wanted to go first left?
Yep, ideally.
Okay, we'll do them one at a time then. So first I'm going to do Green. So you're going far left, you open the door, you find yourself in a larger room than you were before. And this appears to be a kitchen.
Hey.
And as far as you can see, it's a relatively ordinary kitchen. A lot of the furnishings are plastic, like everywhere else. And the thing that definitely draws your eye is there's another doll in here, and this one has a kind of comedy chef's hat on and an apron. And it's just kind of smiling at you, as they always do when they seem to be frozen.
Excuse me, sir.
Doesn't respond. But yeah, other than that, the room looks to be like a regular kitchen.
Right. I'm going to start opening all of, like, the fridge, the oven, and all of the cupboards.
Okay, so the first thing you notice as soon as you start to investigate is that this room, unlike most of the others, kind of like the study though, this is like a mix of dollhouse stuff and real stuff. Like, so a lot of the furnishings are very kind of fake and plastic, the drawers, the fridge. But the fridge is actually cold. The oven looks to be made of metal and maybe would work. And most importantly, the utensils seem to be real. They are in fact metal. Like the frying pans, the rolling pins, the knives. This looks like a kitchen you could actually cook in.
Right. So, the photo is back in my underwear.
Yep.
And
You're going to walk a little slower if you do that.
Oh, God, yeah.
He already walks slowly.
Yeah,
He's
right.
an old man.
He's an old man. And I'm going to put a knife in one of my dressing gown pockets.
Yeah, what sort of knife? Do you want to go for like a large carving knife or like there's choice? There are a lot of
Like
knives around.
a paring knife, like a short but very sharp knife. That's what you'd use to like cut
Yep.
tomatoes.
Yeah, you find one
Yeah.
where you'd expect to find it.
I'm so
in
proud
the
of you,
kitchen
Helen.
drawer.
You know what a paring knife is.
It's because
I'm
I
so
live with
proud
you.
of
It's so like it's small enough to hide in my pocket, like it can't be seen, but also it's actually a sharp knife.
Yep. You've got it. And I'll leave you there for the time being. We can come back to you in a sec.
You're not going to tell the rest of us about the knives.
Kids,
Sounds
there's some
agreed.
knives in here.
I run in. Like, knives?
Yellow runs in. Yeah,
Oh,
same
and
again.
a
You can
mannequin.
you can arm yourself if you want.
I want to grab a meat cleaver, and
You find a rather hefty-looking meat cleaver.
I do a couple of like impressive swishes with it.
Has
They are
the
impressive.
mannequin
Thank you.
moved at all or done anything at all other than sat there and smiled at us?
Not as far as you can tell. It doesn't appear to have moved. Again, it always seems like it's looking at you, whatever angle.
As if I was wearing a hat and I'm going to tip my hat at him, I just kind of like, do a like nod.
I grab a carving knife as well, and I'm going to attack this mannequin. I want to like destroy it and see what's inside it.
Okay. I'm actually going to hold you there before you do that.
Oh,
So we can go to the other two. Just because I want
go of me! Don't hold me back.
Patience.
Ugh.
So next we're going to go to Gray.
Uh-huh.
So Gray, you go into a room, and this room looks to be the library. So there are bookcases on either side. It's not a particularly big library. This isn't Beauty and the Beast, but it looks to be like... It looks like it's designed to be like a slightly old world library. All the books look to be kind of old tomes, and there's like a big reading chair with like a little old-fashioned
Is
lampshade
there one of
there.
those ladders you can kind of oil rack slide along?
There is indeed one of those slidey ladders that is there.
I
for
go
reaching
on the
high
slidey
shelves. You successfully go on the slidey ladder and slide around.
I'm happy for a while.
So the main thing you're going to notice as you slide around this room is that most of the books, like everything else in this house, seem to be fake. However, what does catch your eye is there's a couple of books next to the chair. There's like a little side table, and there's like a book there that's open, which does look to be a real book. And there's like two other like smaller books beside it that you can't tell if they're real or not. But that draws your eye.
Cool. Do these books look? God damn it! Do these books look like they're big enough to fit in my pockets?
That is one hell of a tongue twister.
So you wander over, you look at the books. The one that's open is a hardback. It's quite large. You probably couldn't fit it in your pockets. This one's
Try
a
your
bit
pants.
Stuff it
larger.
up your shirt.
The other two,
Pants,
so
pants,
one...
pants.
Guys, on a timer.
Sorry.
One of them, that's all right. One of them is like a leaflet, it's almost like a brochure. You could probably stuff that in a pocket. Mm-hmm. And the other one is like printed out sheets that have been stapled. Again, you could fold that up and take it.
I'm going to do that to both of them, and
They're in your pockets.
Hmm?
They're in your pockets. You've got them.
I will look at them later. Looking at just kind of leafing through the big book. What kind is it? Is it like an academic journal? Is it a fiction book?
It's so this is I did come up with a title during the week. So this is called "The Door to the Dollhouse: The Biography of Avery Hephaestus."
Okay, so again, that was
Amazing.
the door to the dollhouse.
Dollhouse.
The biography.
of Avery. Avery, like it's a name, and Hephaestus is in the god.
Fantastic.
Yep. And yeah, you read the back. You scan the page that it was open to, and kind of have a leaf around either side. And you kind of feel like you've heard of this. Like you feel the name Avery Hephaestus rings a bell, and as you read a bit of context, you get it. Avery Hephaestus is a robotics scientist. They've been called controversial because their kind of shtick is they like to try and make robots that are as realistic and as human-like as possible.
Oh boy.
To the extent that they have been like, a couple of people have tried to outlaw them and sue them for various different impersonation tricks and stuff like that. And and so you could investigate further if you want more, but that's kind of the book is the biography of this robot scientist.
Cool.
I have suspicions.
Yeah, I think I am going to poke my head around the door and go, it's a library with some big books. Any researchers around among us? And then I'm going to poke my head back in, and I'm going to look for if there are any other books on the bookshelf. And I'm not being particularly careful about it. I'm basically just like running my hand along and chucking books to the floor to see if any of them have more of a thunk than others.
The full supermarket sweep.
Exactly.
Yeah, you go through
if I
like
could do that in a bookshop. Oh.
you go through like 3 shelves, and as far as you can see, they all seem to be fake plastic.
Cool.
You could keep investigating, but you've got reason to believe that it would be unusual for one to be real. Like, unless they're really trying to hide something from you. Like, the more you pull away, the more.
Yeah. Okay. In which case, I'm going to give up after the third bookshelf, and then go back outside and go, it was like that when I got here.
While Yellow is going to start dismantling things, I think I've yelled at Knives, and I'm going to go out of my room and to the door at the very end of the corridor.
Cool, no worries. So Gray, you're looking in the library, you've pocketed 2 books, and you've kind of briefly scammed the Hephaestus biography. Mm-hmm. Red, you're in the study. First thing you notice is Green told you that the door had been broken down by androids. The door seems to have been fixed. There's no hole in the door.
Okay. Computer.
Yep,
is
you sit at
my
the computer.
aim. I like computers. This looks like a real one. I want to see what I can find.
So you sit down. It's very comfy, very ergonomic. And then you wave the mouse. It's like one of those old style ones. You wave the mouse, and then the screen flashes up, and it requests the password.
Oh shoot.
Try Bergun rum.
Try Bergun rum. I will try Bergun rum. I have nothing else in my heads.
All of your heads.
All of my heads. I'm actually a many-headed cyborg.
It is not Bergun rum. Incorrect password.
I will then run back to the door. I need a password. Anyone got any ideas?
1, 2, 3, 4, 69, 420.
I've already tried password. I'm kidding. I didn't, but I don't want to get locked out.
You tried password. It's not password. As a matter of course, as a computer specialist, you tried password and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and none of them come up.
Try Avery Hephaestus or just Hephaestus.
How do you spell that? I'll run back in and type those.
You try them. Neither of those.
Because Pink has been arranging the bookshelf. Probably slightly focused on it a bit too much. Yeah, he's then going to run back into the room, get his arm down, and then suggest Ash Skylancer, Alexis Kessler, or Max Dresler.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, thank you.
You try all 3 of those.
Yep.
None of them.
Have you tried hacking it?
Can I just try hacking it? This isn't working.
You can attempt. I'll allow you to attempt to hack it. Yeah.
Okay. God.
Roll computers.
Oh God! Come on, dice, please. Don't be a little dice. Oh fuck's sake! That's a 1.
Oh no!
You're locked out. You're locked out. I'm sorry.
I just smashed the keyboard with my hand a few times, like you really shouldn't do.
Is there a modem to it? Is there a tower, or a thing?
Yeah, it's a physical.
Does it have a USB port?
Where is it plugged into?
I'm not very good with computers. There's a box, like a computer box.
You are our tech guy. What?
I'm not very good with computers.
God.
I like wires.
You're literally our tech editor.
I like music tech. There's a stack. There's a computer stack.
There's a box. Are there? So there's cables and stuff. And is there something? Does there look like there's something you can put your finger in? No, sorry. My
Try
plan
that
is to
again.
put my
Try that again.
My plan is to put my finger in the computer. However, I want to see if there's a hole for which I can put my finger. Oh, this no. Oh, now there's a sound.
Yikes.
Oh, creepy sound is back. Okay, we've shoved the bookcase under the trapdoor, right?
Yeah.
Let's see how long
that's
that
already
holds.
done.
I'm going to go get a
done.
knife. Is anyone else in the kitchen?
Yeah, I was about to dissect a robot.
Yeah, and so Yellow, you we'll go back a couple of seconds. So you decided you wanted to hack at the robot.
Oh god,
Yeah.
I come in and that's happening.
I want to see. I mean, I want to see if this one is a robot, and I want to see what's going on inside it.
Yep. So go for. So you go in for. You don't need to roll. I mean, it's not moving. You go for a strike. Did you want to do a couple of tests, or did you want to just go for it? Did you want to like line up your attack? Did you want to like do a fake out to try and get reaction out of it? What did you want to do?
I kind of just want to like take its head off.
Yep. Okay. So
Got
you
some
prep
anger
your meat
issues to work
cleaver. Yeah, you kind of you're not happy about being stuck in this loop. So you take your meat cleaver. You look at it. It doesn't move, and you take your arm back, and it doesn't move, and then you swing, and at the last second, its arm just snaps up and grabs your wrist, and it like turns its head to look at you, and it doesn't attack back. It just kind of holds your wrist in an iron grip, being like, "Don't do that," kind of thing.
Oh god. I'll come in behind you and just be like, oh, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, and I'll go get a carving knife. And then creep back out again.
But however, you've just heard the kind of do noise,
okay.
and at this point, you hear like a grinding noise, which you assume is the door to the attic place opening up. It comes down and it hits the bookcase, and like I'd love to say something different, but it's a plastic bookcase. It crushes it in an instant. Like, I'm sorry, there are other things you could try the same idea with. But like the bookcase just smashes straight away. The door clunks down, and the automatons start coming out.
Is there any opportunity for me to duck behind the staircase as they come down it?
Roll stealth. You're in the doorway. You could give it a go.
Yeah.
You're in the right place.
6.
Yes, that is a 6. You kind of duck behind it. It's not like full stealth. It's not like you've not been noticed, but you're providing them another direction to go in, so you might be able to kind of double back and like run through.
That's what I was wondering, just because they're going to have to turn around and like walk around it.
You might be able to kind of outmaneuver them and get up there.
Because I just want one thing. I just want to be able to do one thing before they zap us as well. Does anyone else want to go though? Yeah.
I think all of you all will be allowed one thing. There's one thing I wanted to quickly tidy up, which is, was it Green went to the other room?
It was Green who went
The one
to
on the
the
far
very
right.
end. Yeah, was just
Yep,
like,
so-
saw Yellow get the knife and go like eye up. The mannequin was like, nope. I'm going to go to
so
another room.
I'm afraid you're going to get nabbed directly afterwards, because that puts you right next to the walkway, but you manage to get enough time to open the door, and you see inside this room, and this room appears to be a music room. There's a grand piano at the far end of it. There's like a pair of guitars hung on walls. There's some like sofas and some lounges. This room looks to be the kind of place you might want to relax. It looks very, very pleasant.
Can I know he's going to get caught immediately, but can he just go like sit on the sofa and just be like, oh, finally.
Yes,
Leans
you
back,
can do that.
closes
You can
his
walk over.
eyes, like just like, finally a good sofa to sit on.
Yep, so what you do is you sit down on the sofa as some of the androids kind of walk in to collect you. You kind of lay there, you relax, you open your eyes just like to see if they're still there, and you notice the exact same android that caught you yesterday is standing above you again, staring
Evening,
at
sir. Let's get
you.
this on with, shall
After
we?
a couple of seconds, he nods at you and then reaches out and puts you to bed. But like, you get the very strong impression he understood what you said when you said good evening. He was like, yes. And then you've seen intelligence from this thing.
Is there for the record?
Yep.
Is there what's like the distinguishing aesthetic? What 1950s stereotype does this android
For
occupy?
that one, he's wearing dungarees. He's a farm boy.
Aww. Does he have like a straw sticking out of his mouth?
No, but he does have a fairly low-rent straw hat kind of
Nice.
plonked on his head.
Nice. Does he open his mouth?
He's also
and
slightly
banjo
bigger
music
than the
starts
others,
playing?
like kind of almost feeding in the stereotype of the farm boy. He seems to be a little bit broader than
Aw.
some of the others. Yep, so Yellow, did you want to try and, because you've already you're in combat with one of them, did you want to try and break out? Again, I kind of allow you to do one thing each before they get you, unless you can delay them.
I mean, is this one coming for me now?
Yeah, she's now the horn's gone off, she's kind of reaching out her hands to try, like her free hand, to try and take you out. She's got you by the wrist.
I want to try and cut her hand off.
Yep, you did have another weapon, I believe, did you not?
Yeah, I've got a cleaver
Two
and
knives.
Yeah, I've got a meat cleaver and a carving knife.
Yeah,
The
do you want to
most
go for the
deadly
wrist and just try and sever the hand that's got you? Yeah, roll combat.
Hold on. Rolling combat. Rolled an 11, that's a 13.
Yeah, you know exactly where to go. Like, robot or no robot, you know where the weakest bit of the joint is. You slice through, you kind of stumble backwards with this hand still gripping your hand. But the android is now like missing a limb, and it kind of looks at the limb for a minute, the stump, as if to be like, huh, that's curious, before it then kind of starts to come at you again. And as it approaches you, you get the impression that you've made it angry because it picks up a rolling pin.
Oh,
fuck.
I've made you angry, have I? I've made you angry, have I, you bitch? How would you like it if you kept waking up in a bright yellow room not knowing who you are?
Yeah, if you yell at it and you call it a bitch, it kind of cocks its head to the side as if to be like, "Ooh, oh really?" Like, but it's like an imitation of being offended. It's kind of very, very. It looks badly animated.
I am going through puberty, and I do not need to go through this as well.
I'm a child soldier and I'm done with your shit.
Roll combat. She's taking a swing at you.
Now there's a t-shirt. I'm a child soldier and I'm done with your shit. Oh, that's a 1.
Yeah,
no.
she brains you right across the head. You were too busy ranting.
That's fair.
And then, yeah, she's going to come in. She's going to put you to sleep. But you've got to say your piece.
Yeah.
Right, androids are coming for the other three of you. Are you doing anything to avert this? I know, Red, you're still behind the thingamy. One of them is, like, lumbering around to kind of come towards you. But the others seem to be like, that one's got it. They're kind of largely ignoring you.
I will do the hopeless last charge, but because I want to bring variety to each one, this time I'm going to pick up the hardback and I'm going to quite literally throw the book at them.
Hey.
So that I can, I'm
roll.
providing distraction so that Red has a better chance.
Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, so that's kind of what you're going to do. I'll let you roll it on stealth in that case. Because you're kind of, I know it's not you being stealthy, but you're kind of, it's a swap out, isn't it? You're allowing somebody else.
Cunning ploy.
Yeah, so roll stealth for me, please, Grey.
That is an 8.
It's a 9, Grey.
Oh.
You've done this sort of thing before. Yeah, so what you do is you kind of charge in like this show of kind of madness with the biography tome in your hand. You kind of lob it at one to your left and you're kind of yelling and kind of trying to get their attention. And it works. Like, a lot of them are kind of, they turn their course towards you. You'd hazard a guess they might have some kind of hive mind, because they seem to be aware of, like, where the ones that are still active are. And they're coming towards you, and then one of them is eventually going to grab you, but you've definitely bought Red some time.
Cool.
Pink, where are you at?
I have finished trying to canoodle with the modem, so or with the tower. So what I'm
Was
going
it
to
fun?
do instead is pick it up.
Pick up what, the entire stack?
Actually, no, that's a bad idea. I'm gonna reach for it, then think, no, useful, and put it
Allow
down.
it.
Don't break that.
Well, everything gets remade after we break it.
Maybe not.
Simple stuff.
Not your clothes.
Maybe not. We don't know.
Yeah, but that's because I'm wearing them. Everything else does.
Right. Did anybody go through the desk drawer? I'm gonna quickly rifle through the desk
No.
drawer, see if.
You rifle through the desk drawer and you find like nothing of note, like staplers, elastic bands, the kind of thing you'd expect.
Haha!
Nothing jumps out.
A stapler. I will arm myself with that.
You take it.
I take
Androids
the.
coming in.
I will. I don't know. I'm just gonna sit down. I'm like, piss.
Much like Green, if you kind of don't offer resistance, they kind of pause for a moment as if to be like, this was unexpected, before they then put you to sleep. Red. So
Right.
I'm going to allow you... What would you rather? You can either roll combat if you want to like try and duck round, or you can take it more stealthily and you can kind of sidestep them, if that makes any sense. You can either like charge and attack them or like sidestep.
I think
Whatever you'd rather do.
sidestep is definitely more my style. I have no idea how good I am at any of these, but considering I know all my good skills, I doubt it's good. So I will
Yep, so do you
stealth.
want to do stealth? Yep, roll
Yeah.
stealth.
Let's see how that goes. Ooh, 11.
11. Yeah, you kind of... These androids are tough, but they're not particularly, like, nimble.
Okay.
So you sidestep one of them who's dressed as... Like a local policeman, like a Dixon or Doc Green style policeman. You kind of sidestep him, and his helmet tumbles off. And then, you duck in and you go up the ramp into the attic. So, what you find in the attic straight away is there's a lot of... It's very dark up here. It's very, very dark. So the light that usually dims has dimmed here as well. However, you see most of the room is not particularly full. You'd imagine that like the androids just kind of stand here until they're called. Yeah. There's a lot of space. It's quite dark, quite musty. However, one end of the room is completely dominated by a window.
Ooh.
And this window, unlike all the others, looks to be glass, and you can actually see out of it. And you've arrived...
God, what do I see?
Well, what you see is... You're not going to roll perception for this, because it's pretty obvious. What you can see is a barren, rocky wasteland in a twilight. So... It looks like the moon, but nowhere near as bright. Like, the surface of this place is kind of craggy and rocky, and you can see, like, a huge blackness moving across the sky. Everything you can see is lit by the tiniest slither of sunlight, whereas this huge black mass is kind of moving, and it's impossibly large, planet-sized large. But you can still see it moving with the naked eye. It's moving very fast. Either that or you are moving very fast. It's hard to tell.
Oh my God.
But it is blotting out the sunlight as it kind of inches past you.
Yeah.
And the other things you notice, you kind of glimpse through the window in the twilight a ship. What looks to be some kind of spaceship landed maybe 100 meters away on the cragginess. Small, like maybe about, freaking 80 foot, 90 foot long, something like that. Mm-hmm. Sorry, meters, 80, 90 meters long. Not a large one. And the other thing you notice, there is a figure staring out of the window, a human-sized figure. You can't quite see what it is or who it is because of the silhouette, but there is a figure standing there.
From inside, obviously.
Inside.
Yeah, good.
Looking out at the vista.
Yeah. Just double checking, because this is a horror genre. Oh God. Okay. Do I have? I guess the android's coming up behind me.
Yeah, you can hear the policeman's footsteps clunk, clunk, clunk.
Then I will take out my carving knife.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I will take out my carving knife and have it ready. And as they come up, instead of brandishing at them, I will look down and go, "Please say I'm not one of them," and I'm going to cut my arm open.
Okay, when you cut your arm open. Talk to me about how you cut it. Like, are you going to just draw blood? Are you trying to cut flesh away? What are you doing?
I'm not trying to cut flesh away. What I'm going to do is take the long of the knife, lengthways down my arm to try and get as much length as possible and try and slice it open. So to kind of get deep, but not cut a hunk out of me, because I don't think I've got the stomach for that. Okay,
yep. So I'll allow you to do that without rolling. Okay. You stand there, you do it, and the policeman, as soon as he sees you kind of hold the knife up, he stops. And he kind of pauses. And you notice some of the other automatons that were kind of turning to help, they also pause, all looking at you.
Ooh.
And then you successfully slice down. It hurts.
Yeah.
And blood begins to stream out of your arm, as you would expect. Okay. And the androids just kind of stand there impassively, again, like they're confused. They don't really know how to process this, but this has really knocked them for 6.
Okay. Well, ow. Shit. But good. Okay. I will...
You hear footsteps behind you.
I'll turn around.
Very close to you. Very
oh
close to you is the vicar with the screwdriver still through his eye.
Oh! Oh!
I could hear H yelling upstairs on the other side of the house.
Oh!
And the vicar looks at you, and his lips do not move, but you hear speech.
Oh, hell.
And it sounds kind of garbled and fake and devoid of a lot of emotion. And he says, "It's you.
It's me.
It's you," he says. And he sounds like, if you was going to attribute emotion to him, it would be surprise. And then as you're kind of looking at the vicar, you kind of feel the android behind you. One of them is sedating you, but just as the hand comes down, you see the vicar kind of put up his hand and say, "Wait, stop." But that's the last you see before you black out.
Oh, shit.
Whoa, are you feeling thoroughly spooked? What is going on? What clues have we yet to uncover? And how can we get out of this creepy dollhouse? Find out next week in the second episode of our You Awaken Halloween series. But until then, thank you for listening to Direcast. If you'd like to keep up to date with episodes and announcements, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Direcast, and on Instagram at DirecastPod. And subscribe to us on your favourite podcatcher. And hey, if you enjoyed listening to us, maybe consider giving us a rating or review, or sharing us with a friend. We'd really love that. Direcast is Lukey Slynn, Matt George Lovett, Jacob War, Helen, Peter Wellman, and H Folkmans. Our logo and banner art are by H Folkmans. The Direcast theme and You Awaken Variation are composed and performed by Matt George Lovett, who also edited this episode. This week, we were playing You Awaken in a Strange Place by Jacob Andrews. A link to his Twitter and a free PDF of the game are in the episode description, along with our individual social media information. And at least for this week, that's how the Direcast.